Hey guys, so it's a bit of a different video today. I feel like I owe you guys an explanation. Not even like I do owe you guys an explanation, and I owe you guys just kind of a good detailed version of what's been happening in my life and where I've been and what I plan to do in the future and just all those things. You guys have been seriously left in the dust for so long, and I give my deepest apologies to you guys because I continuously get DMs and comments of where are you, where have you been, why aren't you coming back, why aren't you posting, and I've just been ignoring them, and that is not the way to handle things. So I take full accountability for that because I have just been in such a weird place mentally and just kind of feeling how I feel with what I do and like YouTube and stuff. So I'm here to explain it all. I also want to preface this video by saying in no way, shape, or form am I asking for you guys to feel bad for me or like anything like that. I really just like want to explain my side and talk about how I've been doing and just kind of give you a bit more insight on all of that. So I'm not asking for any pity. I'm not asking for anything. I'm just asking for people who understand and who are excited for the future and like that sort of thing. So yeah. I want to start off from the very beginning. So I think it was about 2 years ago. I think it was like my middle of sophomore to junior year is when I started being not as consistent on YouTube, and I really feel like it was actually probably the beginning of my junior year when I had moved to Channelside here in Tampa. I was still in college when I moved to Channelside in my junior year, and I moved because during COVID is when my school decided to go like full remote, and then I just realized, you know, why not move to Tampa and be able to take social media more seriously, be living in the city, be able to shoot content whenever, be in my own apartment, but also do school online. So the whole reason I literally moved to Tampa, like instead of going to school like in person, was so I could focus on social media, and I did the exact opposite. I moved to Channelside in January of last year, so January of 2022. And that is that is when I would say everything went downhill for me. I want everyone to understand that during this time I was still like a very happy human being. Like I had so much fun doing what I was doing, and I think the song that Miley Cyrus just came out with, that's called Used to Be Young, really goes to like some of the situation. Like it like speaks to me of like what I've been going through and like what I went through when I moved to Channelside. So I moved to the city and I moved to Channelside, and I was so excited. I did like apartment videos, I did all that stuff. I'm like, that was great. And then being online in school while also living in the city, having all that freedom, made me feel like I should take part in be partying and going out scene more than I should have. Again, full accountability for all of my actions. I am not the same. I am a totally different person now, so full accountability. I got so caught up in the going out scene and the partying and drinking, and just to preface this, I had never like drank really before I turned 21. Like maybe I had like 2 or 3 drinks, but it was like nothing really crazy. It was like, if anything, like I would drink inside and like chill, but it was like right before I turned 21. So I had never experienced the going out underage and all that stuff. So when I turned 21, I was like, oh, I can finally do it now. Like, let me live my party life. Yeah, no, definitely not the life I want to be in. I tried to be as consistent as possible, but within this time of me going out and partying and just being a wild child, and not like a crazy wild child, like all I was doing was drinking and going to parties. I wouldn't like do all the stuff where you take guys home and you do stuff with them, because I'm still very much so not into that. I never was, and I'm never going to be into that. I'm a one and done type gal, and that is just how I'm doing it. But I would go out every weekend, and even during the week sometimes when I turned 21, I was like going out and I was drinking and just like not the vibe. So during the time of going out and drinking and doing all that stuff, I was also gaining a ton of weight. I was at like the highest my weight had ever been. I was eating out too much. I was just not eating healthy. Like I was not having like a healthy lifestyle. I wouldn't work out, like, and if I did, it would be like maybe twice a week, and I would skip other workout classes. So I was just so into like looking forward to the weekend, which for me right now, that is such an empty feeling, to go through your week and look forward to the weekend and party all weekend and drink all weekend. Like for me personally, like that is such an empty feeling now that I think about it, versus when I did think about it in the past, I was like, oh, it's so fun. Like, I'm finally 21. Like, I don't have to worry about getting ID'd or anything or getting carded and all that stuff. So I have the freedom, so let me use it. But I saw this thing the other day and it said, why get as close as you can to sin? Like, what is that doing for you? Like, why don't you get as close as you can to God and like not to sin, and then see what it does for you? I got to a point where I was so insecure with my body image that I felt like I wasn't worthy enough to post on social media anymore. And I'm gonna like see if my video editor can throw up some photos or like videos of me from YouTube when I was really a lot bigger than I am now. And I'm really proud of myself. I've lost 23 pounds and it has been like amazing. It's been like really good for me, and my whole like lifestyle has fully changed. Okay, Bella, you're skipping a lot of parts, so let's go back to like when I had first turned 21. Moral of the story, I prioritized the wrong things. I was not putting God first, and I didn't have a good support system in my life. I felt like it was always about going out and drinking and doing all that stuff, and like that's just not what like I want. That's not what I crave in life. It's just not the desire for me. This is not to say I'm not gonna go out and go to dinner and have a couple drinks. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying I abused something that I thought I could get so close to because it was such a common thing and I had never experienced it. So ever since that point, I became super inconsistent. And then I got to a point where in November of last year, I found this beautiful apartment that I live in Tampa, and I love this apartment, and it has been like the views and the lighting and stuff has really been good for me mentally. I'm not like in a darker space, I'm in like very like lighted space. But I'll gladly mention that my toxic trait is saying once I have this, I'll be happy and I'll work harder, but when I get to this point, I'm still dealing with the like unhappiness and I'm not working hard and the inconsistency. So if you take this and you bring it to this point, you're still gonna deal with it. Like, just because you have this doesn't mean you're not gonna deal with this. Like, you need to heal from it, you need to work on it before you can move to the next point. So I convinced everybody around me that once I moved to this apartment that's more aesthetically pleasing, it's more beautiful, it's more of the content lifestyle, that I would work hard and I would just be so good at what I do, and I would go back and like this apartment, I basically was saying that it would heal me. Like, it would fix everything, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate, and the fact that you're like, oh, like once I have this car, like life will be different, or once I have this person in my life, this will be different. But that's not how life works. Like, that is literally not how it works. You will continue to carry baggage with you if you don't deal with it. Even if you're living in a palace, like, you can still have the crazy stuff in your head that you have not dealt with. So I moved to this apartment, which is a very pretty penny, and I fell back into the same cycle. I did not work hard. I still prioritized the wrong things. And it was really up until, I would say, April of this year when I got fed up with myself of how much weight I gained, how unhealthy I felt, how tired I felt all the time, and just how insecure I was overall. So in April, I graduated, and then I got really sick at the end of, actually the beginning of May. I got like really bad food poisoning called Campylobacter from a sushi restaurant here in Tampa. It's like a diarrhea illness, and I was on the pooper for 70 times in 3 days. It was so bad. I had to go to the ER. It was a really bad experience, and I literally thought I was gonna die because I hadn't eaten in days. I couldn't stomach food. It would just come right out of me, and I was so sick. I had a 104 like fever. It was horrible, and I couldn't see a way out. I was fully convinced. I was like, if I pass away, like, this is exactly how it's gonna happen, because I felt like that down bad with my body, with myself, and mentally it was so bad. And if I'm trying to make light of the story, I started myself in the ER. Like, I literally started myself, and I had to walk to the bathroom in front of everybody in the ER when they could clearly see that I started myself. So like, that's definitely like my most embarrassing story ever. It was kind of crazy, but now that I'm looking back on it, it's honestly such a Bella thing. Like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I was basically sick for a whole month, and then I would say right in the beginning of June is when I started taking my health seriously. I started working out, I started eating healthier, and I prioritized my relationship with God. Now I'm here, and it's safe to say I've lost 22 or 23 pounds is what I said, and I feel better, I look better, I am just way more confident in myself, and I am constantly pursuing the Lord, and a lot of things are just really lining up for me, and it has been such a mind-blowing, surreal feeling So with all that being said, I again take full responsibility for all of my actions, and I think my biggest lesson in this whole thing is once you have something, you can't place like value and happiness on the next thing. There's a song, I think it's by Tracy Adkins, and it's called You're Gonna Miss This, and a lot of the I just can't speak. A lot of the lyrics are talking about how like you're gonna miss this, you're gonna want this back. And like that song has really been my past a little bit. I believe that in the song, his daughter got a new apartment or whatever, and she says, yeah, it'll do for now. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm literally saying that, okay, I'm like placing happiness and value and whatever on worldly things, which is not good. Well, I'm not doing that anymore, but I did. And so I always said, okay, once I have this apartment, I will work hard, I will do all this stuff, but once I'm here, I'm like, oh, maybe I want this next. Like, I'm not happy here, so I'll get this next. But like, you're wasting so much of your life when you continuously want the next thing. Like, why don't you like sit in the blessing that God has given you and make the best of it? Because to be honest, I am not in a bad situation right now. Like, I have a great apartment, I have everything I need, I have so many amazing people in my life, and I don't know, like, it is such like a toxic trait of mine, and I'm done doing that. Like, I'm done looking for the next best thing, because then there's always going to be a next best thing. There's always going to be something else that you want, and you're not going to be able to always get it. And I fully understand that. No, I am going to say my rent is so high. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with this apartment. I might be doing something else, but it's not because I'm like, oh, once I have this, I'll be happier. It's just because that's like a better financial decision. So if you see something coming up in the next couple of weeks, which you will, don't think that I'm just like talking and then I'm just gonna be very much so a hypocrite. Because what I'm doing in the next few weeks is a much better financial decision and a lot better for me. So again, I go back to the beginning where I said I am sorry. I'm sorry for being inconsistent. I'm sorry for being not there for you guys. I know that my videos were so helpful for people, and you guys always said that it took you to a better spot. Like, you were much happier when you watched my videos, and it made it feel like it was a break from your real life. Like, you forgot about your problems when you would watch me. And like, that just means the world to me, and I miss where I used to be. I miss getting the happy, jittery butterfly feeling before I posted a video and when I would film. And so I just wanted to clear the air, let you guys know where I'm at. But my goal for the future, as in like the next like day, like literally effective immediately, is posting 2 to 3 times a week. I'm going to be consistent on Instagram, consistent on TikTok, and I am ready to get back to where I was, but be even better, because God has promised me something, and I know he will not break his promises. I just need to work hard, follow through with it, and I'll be good. My goal is to also be a lot more open than I used to be with you guys, and I feel like I was always really open, but I want to open like a new level of vulnerability with you guys. I want to pop that can, and I just want to be a lot more literally just open. So again, I thank you guys for sticking with me, and if you haven't stuck with me and you're just not finding this video and you're like, oh, I unsubscribed because she wasn't posting, well, I hope you come back and you stay for the ride. But if you have been here and you've just been waiting for me and waiting for me, I'm so sorry. I can't believe like I ever like let you guys down like that. Like, it hurts me to know that you guys were always just waiting and you wanted the best for me, and then here I am ignoring you. And it wasn't on purpose, it's just because like mentally I created a block in my head to where I can't post because I don't look good. I constantly get hate comments about my body and my face and all this stuff, and it got in my head a lot. But I love you, and I just can't wait for this next chapter, and God fully has his hand upon my life, and it's truly the best feeling, like being so in touch with the Lord. So I love you guys, and if you take anything from this video, really just take the whole looking for the next best thing kind of moment that I talked about. Like, stop looking for the next best thing, like be where you are, like, because you are living out at least one of the prayers that you prayed in this moment. So think about it that way. I'm excited for you guys to see my next videos, and let me know your thoughts down below. And I'm not doing this again. I'm not gonna be so ghosty with you guys for like 6 months. That's crazy. I mean, I might like fall back. Well, no, I don't want to say that. Like, I'm not gonna fall back. I'm just like, I might go through things where I have to like travel or whatever, and I can't like pre-film videos, so I don't post 2 videos. But it's never gonna be a time where I don't post for 2 months or a month or 6 months. It's not gonna be like that anymore, guys. Have faith in me. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye. I am so happy I filmed this video.